Alright, baseball aficionados. Let's really dig into this Vladimir Guerrero Jr. contract extension buzz and stretch this conversation out to a full 10 minutes of pure baseball speculation and excitement. You want more analysis, more humor, and a deeper dive into this potential $550 million megadeal? You got it. Let's not just skim the surface. We're going to dissect this like a scout breaking down a pitcher's repertoire. So, the Toronto Blue Jays and their young superstar, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., are reportedly in a high-stakes dance to try and ink a contract extension that could redefine baseball economics in Canada. We're talking about a potential commitment that could see Vladdy Jr. wearing Blue Jays colors for the better part of the next decade and a half. And for a price tag that could make your jaw drop faster than a knuckleball. $550 million. Let that sink in. That's not just a lot of money. That's enough to buy a small island, or maybe just a really nice condo in downtown Toronto with a spectacular view of the Rogers Centre. Now, let's really appreciate what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. brings to the table. This isn't just some flash-in-the-pan player. We're talking about a generational talent. A guy who can hit the ball harder than almost anyone in the league. He's got that rare combination of power and hitting ability that makes pitchers tremble and fans roar. He's not just a slugger. He's a complete hitter who can drive the ball to all fields. And at just 26 years old, he's still got so much potential to unlock. He's already a four-time All-Star and has finished high in the MVP voting multiple times. He's the kind of player you build a franchise around. The kind of guy who puts fans in the seats and fear in the hearts of opposing pitchers. His bat is a true weapon. And his presence in the lineup makes the entire Blue Jays team that much more dangerous. And then there's that reported $550 million figure. Let's put that into perspective. That would likely be one of the largest contracts in MLB history. Especially for a first baseman. We're talking about territory usually reserved for pitchers who can throw triple-digit fastballs or outfielders who can hit 50 home runs a year. For a first baseman to command that kind of money speaks volumes about the kind of talent and potential that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. possesses. It's a testament to his impact on the game and the belief that the Blue Jays have in him as their franchise cornerstone for years to come. It makes you wonder what kind of return on investment the Blue Jays are expecting. Are they envisioning multiple World Series appearances? A decade of dominance in the AL East? Only time will tell. But that kind of financial commitment certainly suggests they have very high hopes. Now, let's dissect Blue Jays GM Ross Atkins' comments about having hope. It's a classic GM move, isn't it? Not giving too much away, but still offering a glimmer of optimism to the fanbase. Yo tengo esperanza, he said. I have hope. It's a simple message, but it carries a lot of weight. It suggests that the negotiations are ongoing, that both sides are still at the table, and that there's a genuine desire to get a deal done. But hope isn't a signed contract, is it? There are still likely plenty of hurdles to clear, details to iron out, and maybe even some good old-fashioned negotiating tactics being played out behind the scenes. Atkins is a seasoned negotiator, and you can bet he's playing his cards close to his chest, trying to find a deal that works for both the team and their star player. Let's also consider the free agency factor. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has made it clear that he's prepared to test the open market if a long-term deal doesn't materialize with the Blue Jays. That's a risky proposition for Toronto. Letting a player of his caliber reach free agency opens the door for other teams with deep pockets to swoop in and potentially steal him away. Imagine the heartbreak for Blue Jays fans if Vladdy Jr. ended up wearing pinstripes in the Bronx or the green and gold of Oakland. Okay. Maybe not Oakland, but you get the idea. The Blue Jays have to weigh the cost of this potential mega extension against the risk of losing him altogether. It's a high-stakes gamble. And the pressure is definitely on the front office to make the right decision. What would a $550 million contract mean for the Blue Jays' future? It would undoubtedly have a significant impact on their payroll flexibility for years to come. Committing that much money to one player means they might have to be more strategic and cost-effective in other areas of their roster. It could mean relying more on young, developing talent or finding value in free agency with shorter-term deals. It's a delicate balancing act, trying to build a championship-caliber team while also committing a large portion of your resources to a single superstar. But if Guerrero Jr. continues to perform at an elite level, it could be money well spent, anchoring their lineup and giving them a legitimate chance to compete for a title year after year. I can only imagine the buzz on social media among Blue Jays fans right now. They're probably refreshing Twitter every 5 seconds, hoping for an official announcement. You've got the optimistic fans dreaming of a decade of Vladdy Jr. in Toronto. The more cautious fans worried about the financial implications. And probably a few humorous memes thrown in for good measure. The passion of the Blue Jays fanbase is undeniable. And they're desperate to see their team succeed. This contract situation is undoubtedly a major talking point in every sports bar and online forum across Canada. Let's inject a little bit of humor into this, shall we? Imagine the negotiations. Maybe Vladdy Jr. is asking for a lifetime supply of poutine or a personal moose to roam the outfield during batting practice. Or maybe Ross Atkins is trying to convince him that Canadian winters are actually quite enjoyable. Okay, maybe those are a bit far-fetched. But you can bet there are some interesting conversations happening behind closed doors. These are high-stakes negotiations with a lot of money on the line. And both sides are likely trying to find a deal that works for them. In conclusion, the potential contract extension for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the Toronto Blue Jays is one of the most fascinating storylines in baseball right now. The reported $550 million figure is staggering, and the implications for both the player and the team are significant. Ross Atkins' hopeful message suggests that there's a genuine desire to get a deal done. But there are still plenty of hurdles to overcome. Whether Vladdy Jr. remains in Toronto for the long haul remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the baseball world will be watching closely to see how this saga unfolds. What are your thoughts on this potential mega deal? Do you think the Blue Jays should pay whatever it takes to keep Guerrero Jr. in Toronto? Let us know your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more baseball news and analysis, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates on the Vladdy Jr. contract situation. We'll catch you in the next one. And as always, let's go Blue Jays, hopefully for a very, very long time. What's going on, Blue Jays fans? Your source for all the latest news from the 6X is back. And today we're talking about the big question mark hanging over the team, the future of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This video dives into the latest developments surrounding Vladdy Jr.'s contract situation. As you know, he's set to hit free agency after the 2025 World Series. And after failing to reach a long-term extension this past offseason, things were looking a little uncertain. But hold on to your hats, folks, because there's a new report that's got Blue Jays fans buzzing. According to MLB insider Mike Rodriguez, the Blue Jays and Vladdy Jr. are reportedly doing everything they can to get a deal done before opening day. And get this, the rumored offer? A staggering $550 million over 14 to 15 years. That would be one of the biggest contracts in baseball history. This video also highlights the comments from Blue Jays general manager Ross Atkins, who, when asked about the situation, expressed his hope in both English and Spanish, saying, "Yo tengo esperanza, I have hope." That's got to be encouraging for the Blue Jays faithful. Vladdy Jr., who just turned 26, is entering his 7th MLB season, all with Toronto. This guy is a hitting machine with a career OPS plus of 137 and 4 All-Star appearances under his belt. He's reportedly seeking the largest deal ever for a first baseman. And it looks like the Blue Jays might just be willing to pony up the big bucks to keep him in Toronto for the long haul. This video explores what this massive potential contract could mean for both Vladdy Jr. and the Blue Jays. Locking up a young superstar like Guerrero Jr. would be a huge statement for the franchise and could set them up for success for years to come. So, Blue Jays fans, are you feeling hopeful about this potential megadeal? Would you be happy to see Vladdy Jr. stay in Toronto for the rest of his career? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Blue Jays news and updates as the 2025 season gets closer. Let's go Jays!